Good evening. Welcome to Tsukiji Hongwanji Buddhist Temple. Everybody, please join me in Gassho. Namandavs, 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 namandavs. Thank you so much for coming to the Saturday English service instead of Sumida River Fireworks Festival. Thank you so much for coming here. First, we would like to begin the service by reciting the aspiration, which can be found on page 2 in the blue service book.
Namandavs, 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 namandavs. Namandav, namandav, namandav. Aspiration. Reverently, we come before the shrine of our Amida Buddha, the Holy One, the Perfect One. With gratitude, we have brought our offering of love and devotion to honor the Buddha. We earnestly resolve to strive to understand the holy teaching and to walk every day in the blessed path, so that, like the Buddha, may we attain the peace of nirvana. Namandav, 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 namandav.
Now, we'll chant the sutra, Juseige. Please turn to page 3 of the same service book.
Please join me in Gassho. Namandavs, 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 namandavs. 가곤조 세감 기심을 줘도 시간 불만족 세이프조쇼각 가오무려고 부이다이 세셋 부사이 쇼빙글 세이프조쇼각 가시조벤도 묘쇼조지법 극겸이쇼모 세이프조쇼각 리어그진쇼은엔 조회시본교 지금을 줘도 이쇼된인식 진리기엔나이고 불쇼을매사이도 조조상금요 고사이시여그남 가이히지에게 메시고모음 헤이소그쇼그도 天使も高僧上満足いよろじっぽ日月世紀天候不言一世界法蔵公世苦毒法上大世界説法四知苦よい細部苦足習得法観念心情満得意三害を成仏無下知津達未不詳願学営利都市最小尊志願若国家大戦の感動国書天にとうち妙形ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブ願にしくどく平等性際道本菩提心往生安楽国 Please join me in Gassho. Namanda, 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 Namanda.
We'll now sing the Gatha Shinshu anthem found on page 5 in the same service book. Congregation, please stand up. Please remain for the standing for the recitation of the three treasures found on page 4 in the same service book.
The three treasures. Difficult is it to receive a human form. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the Dharma of the Buddha. Now we hear it. If we do not cross over to the truth in the present life, in what life shall we cross over? Let us, with sincerity and true reverence, take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we, together with all sentient beings, awaken to the great way of enlightenment and to the unsurpassed intent of Amida Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we, together with all sentient beings, enter the storehouse of the Dharma, becoming like the wisdom ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we, together with all sentient beings, become units in true accord, in harmony with all things. The peerless, profound, and wondrous Dharma is rare to encounter, even in many hundreds and thousands of kalpas. Now we are privileged to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandavs, namandavs, namandavs. Namandav, namandav.
Please be seated. Please wait a moment until we get ready for the Dharma talk. Thank you. Thank you so much for waiting this evening. We are so happy to have Reverend Ryoei NANJO, Resident Minister, Hojujin Temple, Tokyo, as a speaker. NANJO Sensei will talk on Amida Buddha's compassion. I'm glad to introduce NANJO Sensei to you. よろしくお願いいたします。
何万ダブ何万ダブ何万ダブ何万ダブ何万ダブ何万ダブ何万ダブ何万ダブ Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming to the English Buddhist service at Tsukiji Hongwanji instead of Sumida's river fireworks. I don't know that. Yeah. My name is Ryoei NANJO. I am 37 years old, and now I'm a resident minister at Hojuji Buddhist Temple. So it's right next to this place. So it's far from here. Today my topic is Amida Buddha's great compassion. But before my talk, let me talk about the essentials of Jodo Shinshu, my path. So this handout. So I'm not sure if you come here for the first time or not, but I'd like to explain the kind of information about Jodo Shinshu first. Name of teaching is Jodo Shinshu. So Buddhism is kind of like a lot of denominations, but our name of teaching is Jodo Shinshu, the true essence of Pure Land Buddhist teaching. And our founder is Shinran Shonin. So he's a person, he lived in Kamakura period, medieval in Japan, and date of birth is May 21st in 1173, Heian period. And date of death passed away January 16th in 1263, Kamakura period. So we hold the Shinran Shonin's birthday every year. It's called Gotan-e. So in May 21st, we hold a Gotan-e service. So this English Buddhist service also hold the Gotan-e in May every year. Also, date of death, January 16th, is a important day, and we hold the memorial service for Shinran Shonin. It's called a holl service. We understand this is most important Buddhist event, Buddhist rituals in Jodo Shinshu to express our gratitude to Shinran Shonin and Amida Buddha. And then name of school, Jodo Shinshu Hongwanji IBA. This is kind of like most, this is the biggest community in Jodo Shinshu actually. And second one is the Shinshu Otani-ha. So both schools are really big and maybe number one community in terms of Buddhist organization in Japan. And our head temple, in Jodo Shinshu Hongwanji IBA, our head temple is Ryukokuzan Honganji. It's called Nishi Honganji. So we say Onishi-san. And so if we have time, we visit our head temple, Nishi Honganji in Kyoto. And object of reverence is Amida Tathagata, Namo Amida Butsu. So you can see the wooden statue. Is it wooden? I don't know, but yeah, this is the statue of Amida Buddha. So standing statue of Amida Buddha. So it represents Amida Buddha's great compassion. So Amida Buddha is always coming to us as Namo Amida Butsu. So our main object of reverence is Amida Buddha, Namo Amida Butsu. So Amida Tathagata and Namo Amida Butsu are same. So Amida Tathagata is coming to us as the audible form of Namo Amida Butsu. And our scriptures, there are three kinds of scriptures on this handout, but it's not only this, but also many scriptures is chanted in our community. But sutra is just three. It's called the three Pure Land Sutras delivered by Shakyamuni Buddha. Shakyamuni Buddha is a historical Buddha. And Bussetsu Muryo Jukyo, the Sutra of Buddha of Immeasurable Life, it's called Larger Sutra, compared to third one, Bussetsu Amida Kyo, the Sutra on Amida Buddha. So the Bussetsu Amida Kyo is called Smaller Sutra. I'm not sure the reason, but maybe the title is the same in Sanskrit. So that's why to compare both, Bussetsu Muryo Jukyo is more thick, so that's why Larger Sutra is Bussetsu Muryo Jukyo, and Smaller Sutra is Amida Kyo. The title in Sanskrit is Skavati Vyuha, so it's totally same. So yeah, we understand the differences, the naming. And second one is a Busetsu Kanmuryo Jukyo, the Sutra of Contemplation, the Buddha of Immeasurable Life. So I talk about this contemplation sutra later. And Shinran Shonin's writings, Shoshin Nembutsuge, Hymns of True Entrusting Heart, and the Nembutsu. We chant Shoshinge every morning and every evening. So that's a kind of like our routine in Shin Buddhist community. Keimyo Muryo Junyōrai, Namo Fuka Shiriko. Maybe that, some people sounds familiar, but it's Shoshinge, it's first part. And Shoshinge excerpts from the chapter on practice of Kyoryo Shinsho. Yes, and some wasan, hymns of Pure Land, hymns of the Pure Land masters, and hymns of the Dharma ages. So these wasans are written by Shinran Shonin. So that these writings are also really important for us to learn about Amida Buddha's great compassion. And then Rennyo Shonin's Gobunsho letters is also crucial to understand the outreaching of Jodo Shinshu community in Muromachi period. And it's really excellent works of developing Jodo Shinshu community. And also the materials are also excellent. It's easy to get the essence of Jodo Shinshu teaching through reading Gobunsho's letter. And teaching, so shall we read together the teaching? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Attaining the interesting heart, awakening to the compassion of Amida Tathagata, Buddha, through the working of the primal vow, we shall walk the path of life, reciting Amida's name, Nembutsu. At the end of life, we will be born in the Pure Land and attain Buddhahood, returning at once to this delusional world to guide people to awakening. Thank you. Next, way of life. Guided by the teaching of Shinran Shonin, we shall listen to the compassionate calling of Amida Tathagata and recite the Nembutsu, while always reflecting on ourselves amidst our feelings of regret and joy. We shall live expressing our gratitude without depending on petitionary prayer and superstition. And last, purpose. Sanghai. The Honganji school is a community of people joined together, revering the teaching of Shinran Shonin and saying the Nembutsu. We seek to share with others the wisdom and compassion of Amida Tathagata. By doing so, we shall work toward the realization of a society in which everyone is able to live a life of spiritual fulfillment. So it's, I really like this, like my path, the essential of Jodo Shinshu. It's really handy to understand the Jodo Shinshu. So it's not the whole things, but it's really great, like the first, gate to listen to Jodo Shinshu teaching. Thank you very much for your cooperation. So now I'd like to talk about the kind of like great compassion through my experience. But before speaking of summer, let's talk about Obon. So please look at another handout. Did you get this? The origins of Obon. Oh, and I put the QR code on header, recently I started a mindful session in Shin Buddhism, like mindful session in Shin Buddhism. My kind of like Reverend Kenneth Tanaka Sensei talked about mindfulness, and I kind of was inspired by his thought, and I started a mindful session every Monday and Wednesday at 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. It's totally free, and just sitting mindfulness. It's not meditation. Like, we don't hit with a pole when you move. So just relax and sitting, and after sitting mindfulness, we will do a standing mindfulness. Just standing and just calm myself and be relaxed. So that's it. And the session is 30 minutes or so, and then we chant Shoshinge, and I do a short Dharma talk, and that's it. So recently, some foreign tourists come to my temple to attend the mindful session. So it's really it's kind of my challenge. So if you are interested in the mindfulness in Jodo Shinshu, let me know. Let's do it together. Some people kind of misunderstand mindfulness is a self-power or something, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think so. It's just a great opportunity to deep listening. Amida Buddha's great compassion. So yeah. Anyway, let me talk about the Obon. So why is this event called Obon? So Bon is an abbreviation of Urabon. There are many theories about the origin of the Urabon. The most well-known theory is that it comes from the Sanskrit word Urambana, hanging upside down. Recently, some research has proposed that the original word for Uram is Odana, rice, and that Urabon means a tray with rice. But actually, I'm not sure about the difficult kind of researching. So the important thing is at least we offer to the Buddha, and we we express our gratitude to the Buddha and reflect ourselves. So that's, I think that's a most important thing in Obon. And Urambana means suffering similar to works? Oh, okay. Hi. Suffering similar to hanging upside down. The origins of Obon can be traced back to when the Buddha's disciple, Maudgalyayana, Mokuren Sonja, asked the Buddha for teachings to save his mother, who was suffering in the hungry ghost realm. In Buddhism, we listen to 6 realms: hell, hungry ghost, animals, Shura, human, and devas. So 6 realms. And a realm in the cycle of rebirth. So we rebirth, reincarnation. From this sutra, Busetsu Urabon Kyo, Urabon Sutra, you can see the theme of the suffering that arises between families. Stories about the theme of suffering between families are taught a lot in Buddhism. So let me talk about the Contemplation Sutra, the tragedy at Raja Guriha, Oshajo no Higeki. At the beginning of Contemplation Sutra, the tragedy at Raja Guriha, Oshajo, is briefly introduced, followed by Vaidehi's sincere request for Shakyamuni's help. So Buddhist priests have learned to read this sutra in several ways while pursuing their studies, notably Master Chandel's reading of the sutra. Master Chandel provided groundbreaking comments on the Contemplation Sutra. The one who brought attention to Master Chandel's notes was Master Honnen. After studying the teaching, Master Shinran discovered the conclusion of the Contemplation Sutra could be summed up with Buddha Shakyamuni Buddha's words, to hold the name of Amida Buddha. To hold the name of Amida Buddha means that you should rely on the Nembutsu of Namo Amida Butsu. Since one cannot resolve suffering alone, the hidden meaning discovered by Master Shinran of Contemplation Sutra was that you must rely on the Nembutsu of Namo Amida Butsu. That is to say that regarding the Contemplation Sutra, Buddha Shakyamuni wanted to tell Vaidehi that salvation could be found within the Nembutsu. So this sutra is not just a folk tale. It's a profound teaching that holds a key to understanding the fundamentals of familial and personal suffering in these relationships. The Nembutsu of Namo Amida Butsu provides a path to overcome the unexpressed suffering in our lives. This powerful teaching reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles and that salvation can be found within the Nembutsu of Namo Amida Butsu. Can you hear me? Okay, thank you. Okay, let me talk about the Buddha's Daigo, Butsu no Daigo. So it's kind of related to the understanding of Obon. So at the time for Obon approaches, the ancestors who have passed away return. It is generally recognized as such. Thus, we will often hear conversations about Obon. At that time, I will always tell this story. Those of our families and friends who have attained Buddhahood in the Pure Land will, like Amida Buddha, return to illuminate our path and guide us in present. That is why they will always be with you. 24 hours a day, 365 a year, anytime, anywhere. Amida Buddha and ancestors, those who already attained Buddhahood, are with us, not only Obon. So this is called July on the handout. July. Tsune is always. Raigo is coming to us. So July. So Amida Buddha is always coming to us. Not just during Obon. Anytime, anywhere, Amida Buddha and those ancestors who have attained Buddhahood are with us all the time. But Amida Buddha and ancestors who already attained Buddhahood always being with us, but they cannot be seen. They cannot be seen. But they will be with us in a form where one can hear them. Within the Shoshinge, the hymns of True Shinjin and the Nembutsu, Master Shinran writes about the Jusei Myosho Monjippo on the handout, Jusei Myosho Monjippo, then resolved again that his name be heard throughout the 10 quarters. This refers to the Amida Buddha swearing to become the Buddha of voice through the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, so that every being can hear it. During Obon, please chant Namandabu Namo Amida Butsu, and their voices resound before one's eyes. The reality is that something greater than us comes through the Namo Amida Butsu. The audible figure of Amida Buddha will always be with us. During this precious time of Obon, I would like to remember those close to our hearts who have passed away. And once more, I would like us to remember that the Buddha is always with us. So, okay, let's talk about the significance of Mon, Kiku. Within life, there are various stories, even if you walk the same path, depending on what meaning you receive from the stories in your life. Your life will be completely different. I am only child, and I have no siblings. I had a complex about that in the past. So I asked my mother in primary school, why don't I have any siblings? I wish I had siblings too. And my mother responded, that's true. It would be nice if you had siblings. Despite giving me this response, my mother didn't answer my question about why I was an only child. On another day, I asked my father. He was silent for a moment before answering. Truthfully, when you were born, your mother went through a procedure called a complete hysterectomy. Complete hysterectomy. And because of this, she's no longer able to have kids. Therefore, it can't be helped that you have no siblings. So please do not ask your mother about this. I only heard the word complete hysterectomy. Then, and I didn't understand what my father said. Time passed, and a few years ago, a TV drama called Konodori, Stork Konodori, with a theme of obstetric care, was aired. I was utterly immersed in the show and would watch it every time it aired. And then one episode talked about complete hysterectomy. I thought, oh, this is what my mother had, and continued watching the show. As I watched, I realized how mistaken I had been. A complete hysterectomy is a procedure where you altogether removed the uterus and cervix. In some cases, postpartum hemorrhaging can occur. It's kind of difficult English, but there are many medical treatments that a doctor could try to stop the bleeding. But if the bleeding continues, then the uterus and cervix may be surgically removed. However, if this procedure is done, one can no longer have children. In giving birth to me, my mother risked her life and had to undergo a complete hysterectomy, no longer being able to carry any other children. For the first time after watching this TV show, I realized that my mother had put her life at risk to give birth to me. Then I was ashamed as I recalled my past self and how I had thoughtlessly asked my mother why I had no siblings. I want to convey my gratitude to my mother. Mom, I'm sorry and thank you. If anything, I am proud that I am an only child. So when I listened to my mother's reason for my birth, the meaning of being an only child completely changed. I think that this kind of connection about the significance of Mon in Jodo Shinshu. Amida Buddha felt pity for me, who could not attain Buddhahood with my own strength, our own power, and said, if you cannot attain Buddhahood, I will also not attain enlightenment. And changed into Buddha, who could save others without exception. This changed form is the Nembutsu of Namo Amida Butsu. During his rigorous training in Mount Hiei, Master Shinran, with his own power, chanted a Nembutsu, Namandabu, Namandabu, to approach the Buddha. However, later he realized through the Nembutsu that he had already reached salvation. The Nembutsu will not change. The Nembutsu will not change. But its interpretations and meanings can change significantly, opening up other paths. In Shin Buddhism, one walks together with the Nembutsu throughout life. As one listens to the background of this Nembutsu or story of the Nembutsu, one will see your own story that Amida Buddha has woven within the Nembutsu. When I hear that my life is not in vain and that Amida Buddha is with me, I can learn from my past and discover the precious meaning in my life right here and right now. Let me talk about the meaning of Namo Amida Butsu more deeply. Please look at the Hongan Shokan in Shinran's writings. So Namo Amida Butsu. So if you research the meaning of Namo Amida Butsu, you will come to find the many interpretations and incredibly history of the interpretations. Master Shinran is a Buddhist priest from the Kamakura period who is revered as the founder of Jodo Shinshu sect, revealed the Namo Amida Butsu. And Namo is a primal vow calling to and summoning us. It is called Hongan Shokan in Japanese. Hongan is Amida Buddha's primal vow. Shokan means to keep calling out and inviting. The word Chuikanki, literally call for attention, has a more intricate meaning, complicated meaning. To worry for another and continuously call out for them and awaken them. The character in Chuikanki for kan and the character for kan in Hongan Shokan are the same. The character kan meaning to call out to, invoke, invite. That is to say that the original vow, primal vow, was Amida Buddha's working to worry about those who are troubled and suffering and call out to them so that they too could awaken. Let me talk about the support from parents. In 2013, NHK aired a documentary following the life story of 18-year-old professional swimmer Chikako Ono called Massugu ni Chikako Yume. It's heading straight forward to Chikako's dreams in English. She competed in 2 tournaments as a backstroke swimmer during the 2012 London Paralympic tournament and the Rio de Janeiro Paralympic tournament, finishing 8th place in both. A few years later, she also competed in the Tokyo Paralympic tournament. Shortly after her birth, Chikako lost her eyesight. She was said to be determined, and during her childhood, she remained resolute despite the many challenges she faced. However, the documentary discloses the difficulties that she must face every day and every day. Her parents continue to support her earnestly. stop thinking of our daughter's blindness as a disability. Her parents vowed they would support their daughter for the entirety of her life. Even if my daughter is blind, that will not impede her from achieving a fulfilling life. Sometimes her mother and father had to steel their hearts and confront their daughter's suffering. I was surprised by the way her parents handled it. One of these instances was called mekakushi gohan. So number 1, mekakushi gohan, blindfolded dinner. During dinner, her parents noticed Chikako was struggling to eat and warned her about her unsteadiness. Chikako responded, "In that case, you too should try it." As a result, her parents took the initiative and used towels to cover their eyes and eat without their sight, just like their daughter. Of course, in doing this, they cannot completely take on the suffering of their daughter. Nevertheless, even if it's just a little, they wanted to understand her better. And so they faced their daughter's suffering as if it were their own. This is one of the conversations between Chikako and her father. Dad said, "Today is blindfolded dinner day, huh? That was exhausting." And Chikako said, "Oh, is that so? Why don't you get tired on your own?" Dad, "Just kidding. Okay, let's go for it today." Chikako, "Today we will eat miso soup with tofu and fish." Dad, "Fish? There's going to be fish? That's a high-level one." Or something like that. And after this conversation, the family headed to the dining table. The father joking around and said, "As expected, sanshokudon is the easiest." So sanshokudon is a bowl of rice with 3 meals on the top. As the episode ends, you can see how the family faces hardship together. Now, Chikako started swimming in elementary school and gradually became a backstroke swimmer. One day, her mother was preparing a tapper by hand. Do you know tapper? Tapper. A tapper is a piece of equipment, a stick, that helps visually impaired swimmers know when they are reaching the end of the pool. It's like tapper. When the swimmer receives a tap, they will know to turn. So on the tapper, Chikako's dream is the family's dream. We will walk towards the dream together with Chikako. As her mother says this, she writes "dream" at the tip of the tapper. Throughout the documentary, it was clearly depicted that to her parents, their daughter's delight was their delight, just as their daughter's sadness was their sadness. Chikako's daily life was harder than I could ever imagined. Even if she intends to go straight forward, her sense of direction will not help. And she doesn't know where the obstacles are. She doesn't know the direction she is going on or her current location. So the only thing she can rely on is the voice of her parents. And her mother always calls out to her. Mother said, "Listen to my voice. Listen to my voice. Be confident. You can do it. You can do it. You are okay. You are okay. It's okay. Don't rush." However, Chikako's anxiety does not subside. And Chikako said, "Wait, Mom, I'm lost. What should I do? What should I do?" Her mother stays close by, keep an eye on her, and earnestly calls her once more. "Listen to my voice. Listen to my voice. You are okay." in the dark, moving around in confusion, within the anxieties of isolation. The one solace is the voice of her parents, Chikako's mother. Even though one must go through life burdened with suffering alone, there's an existence that understands you completely. Amid solitude, I had my parents' support. I feel their support through their voice. Their daughter, Chikako, despite the hardship in her life, was able to grow and survive thanks to her parents' support. In the previous Tokyo Paralympic tournaments, she could not reach the finals. Being able to participate in the tournament spoke to her skills, but on a personal level, she was disappointed. Then she won first gold medal last year at the World Championships. And now she's practicing. Actually, she's attending for Paris tournament, Paris Paralympic tournament. For Chikako, there were times when she could achieve the desired results and times when she could not. That said, regardless of the result, there was always the support of her parents. It's because her parents were with her in good times and in bad times that she has continued to prevail. So when I witness the wishes and actions of Chikako's parents, I kind of experience part of Amida Buddha's great compassion. I feel the great compassion. Life is not always as it seems. No matter how hard one persists, challenges in everyday life can threaten to spill over. There are times when one may face painful experiences that cannot be put into words. In these times, one may forget about the support of those around who care, and most of all, forget about the Buddha. Then, as I was lost in this state of confusion, unable to stand or speak, Amida Buddha said, "I will make you into a Buddha." Amida Buddha still embraces them all equally without fail. Amida Buddha is changing into Namo Amida Butsu and continuing to call out to me. I am right here. Leave it to me. It's okay. Amida Buddha's calling never abandon us. So to conclude my talk, let's recite the Nembutsu together. Please join me in Gassho. So please recite Namo Amida Butsu, and through your voice or my own voice, let's feel the Amida Buddha's great compassion. Your life, your suffering is Amida Buddha's suffering. Never abandon us. Okay, please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namandab, 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 namandab. Namandab. Namandab, 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 namandab.
Thank you very much, NANJO Sensei. Now we'll sing the gatha Namo Amida Butsu on page 6 in the blue service book. Congregation, please stand up. Please be seated. Let us recite together the Shinshu Creed found on page 2 in the same service book. Followed will be the recitation of the benediction.
If you will turn to page 2, the bottom, and read together the Shinshu Creed. The Shinshu Creed. We single-heartedly take refuge upon Tathagata Amitabha for the enlightenment in the life to come, abstaining from all sundry practices and teachings and giving up the trust in our powerless self. We believe that the assurance of our rebirth comes at the very moment we are led to entrust upon the Buddha, and we call the name Namo Amida Butsu in happiness and thankfulness for the Buddha's great compassion. We also acknowledge gratefully the benign benevolence of our founder and the succeeding masters who have led us to believe in this profound teaching, and we do now endeavor to follow throughout our lives the way laid down for us. Amida Buddha surrounds all men and all forms of life with infinite life and light. Particularly does the Buddha send forth loving thoughts to those in suffering and sorrow, to all those in doubt and ignorance, to all who are striving to attain truth, and to those whose feet are standing close to the great change men call death. Amida Buddha sends forth oceans of wisdom and compassion. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Namo Amida Butsu.
We'd like to thank you, all of you, for attending here in person and watching through YouTube today's Tsukiji Hongwanji's English Dharma service. For those attending here in person, please take time to scan the QR code located near the entrance. For those watching online, please click on the link provided in the description field. We would appreciate if you could fill out the survey provided in the link and give us your feedbacks or views so that we can improve our services. This is the only way, so please do it. Okay, and the next service will be held on September 28th. Next month is no service. September 28th is next service at 5:30 p.m. in the same room. And the speaker will be standing right there, Osamu NANJO, who are playing piano beautifully tonight. And the topic will be the hearing how the Buddha's vow arose, its origin and fulfillment. We look forward to seeing you again. Let us put our hands together in Gassho. Please feel free to come forward to offer incense and join the refreshments afterwards. Once again, thank you so much for coming. どうもありがとうございました。お気をつけてお帰りください。